Hello, my name's Sharon Jackson. I'm the head teacher here at Netherfield Primary School. I've been the head teacher for 2 years here. My approach to leadership is very much based on the principle of a systemic perspective. When we started to look at the standards within the school, literacy was clearly a key issue, and one of the main areas of concern was around boys and writing, which at the moment is a national issue, so it was of no real surprise. Now, in Netherfield, the majority of the children come into foundation significantly below average, so we have a lot of work to do in building the foundations to ensure children are confidently speaking to each other and then taking that through to their reading. So speaking and listening is a major area of focus for us, because that predetermines how children will then tackle reading, which then determines how they'll tackle writing. We were really looking at how we could support writing, and we've really understood and transformed our curriculum to make it Netherfield specific, and a part of that is to really ensure a kinesthetic range of activities that truly engage all of our learners. And so we then came up with the idea of the whole new world, and the staff team kind of nurtured and grew this idea, which is where every year group is designing and developing their land. And with the support of different colleagues that we've got to come in to work alongside our current staff, are really motivating the children through a multisensory approach, so using music and dance to get them to really imagine and use real creativity to imagine something different to what exists already. And each year group will then design this world, design characters that live in this world, and then design habitats for their characters to live in. We invited Phil Davies, who is a colleague that I met. He has worked in many special schools, particularly those schools for children with autism and children with severe social and emotional behavioural difficulties. He really does understand and fully encompasses that multisensory approach, and really does tackle in many ways the harder to reach children, but does it in such a natural, enthusiastic, dynamic way that we as practitioners at Netherfield can learn so much from him by just working alongside him.
The other practitioners working here understand that everything's coming from the children's ideas. I think that's what holds us up, that it's all stemming from what the children are thinking.
I use images and sounds, and the skills basically the children use are observation, which are things they can actually see, are ideas, visualisation, things they think they can see, and imagination, which is things they think they can see. And it's kind of bringing that all together, and then the sound also gives them visual ideas for a visual response to sound. It gives them emotional responses, and it also can give them words.
We've been writing about describing lakes, and the sounds can help you come up with more things to describe the lakes. And we tried to make characters from the sounds that we heard, and we all came up with some.
The whole point is that it is quick. Idea gathering is quick, that's what you want it to be. And yeah, this morning, going in, I mean, their confidence at drawing them out, they didn't have any template, just a blank sheet. Putting all their ideas down, rather than getting hung up on one and being worried that it's not the right answer. When it came to sentence construction, which they understood as well, they knew that they could just pick out the ones they needed. It seemed much more natural and flowing.
Deep, calming lake is blurry like a smashed image. Gorgeous. Yeah. Absolutely. It's about painting the picture, you see, that kind of, you've got your brush and you've painted that amazingly beautiful picture.
Everybody is really engaged with the topic, but with his style of nurturing children to dare to take a risk and really celebrating every small achievement and of course the huge achievements as well. He went in and used a visual recipe almost, an outline to support children to organise their ideas for writing.
I like doing the maths with Philip because it gets your brain working when you do. You have to think of all the words and all the drawings and listening to the sounds. I just think it's really fun.
He then revisited classes after they'd started to design their land and started to create some stories around that to help them to create characters. And so all of the children across the school have created characters that will live on their land. And they're all creating designs and pencil drawings of their characters that they'll have vocabulary around that to really explain the identity of the characters and traits of the characters. And we have display books sharing all of this.
Well, he's a very fun teacher, and he always, when we've been sitting down too long, he does different dances.
His enthusiasm, his natural presence within the classroom is very special. He really engages with the children and he models the expectations.
All the techniques I use as the kind of warm-up thing is to try and ensure that the children are in a space where they feel happy to have a go at something. They're not feeling stressed. And so the movements and all that is basically generating laughter. That's what you want. If you have lots of laughter in the classroom and a joyous, positive attitude, then when you introduce things like the thesaurus or coming up with ideas from a sonic inspiration or the complex attitudes, if you're feeling stressed, you're going to say, oh, what's the point? Because you'll immediately think, oh, I can't do that. But if you're feeling happy, you'll think, oh, that sounds good, I'm willing to give that a go.
He supports the children to dare to take a risk, but also models that it's absolutely fine to make errors and mistakes. I think his absolute passion and love of literature and words, again, inspires the children, and the fact that he has his thesaurus and dictionary with him wherever he goes. Our children, because they have naturally engaged and have a really good, positive relationship with him, aspire to him, and so they too have their thesaurus by their side.
We use thesauruses to make words better. So like see-through was, another word for see-through is limpid. One of the lakes, I put iridescent down because it was a very shiny lake.
Relaxing music came on as the reflection of the sky split the lake in half.
The thing I'm really pleased with is their enthusiasm, their attitude towards writing.
He's been inspirational, both to the children here and to the staff, and we warmly welcome him coming back to work with us, because whilst the children are gaining hugely and learning so much, as staff we're also learning so much about his multisensory approach to this and his vibrancy, his dynamic approach to really engaging the children.
It's just a standalone. If I go in for half an hour, do something, leave, and it's never done again, like anything that is not ever going to grow. And the teachers at this school nurture good ideas, I think. And that means that when I come back, I've just been away for 2 weeks, come back, you can see things have happened. There's books are starting to be made. Teachers coming up to me saying, oh, we're working on our character books, or we've done some setting writing, or we've done this. They kind of get the direction of the entire project. That's why it's working. Everyone knows the direction it's going in, I think. I think there are many ways to learn. I think happiness is the best way to learn it. I don't mean that learning is never difficult and we can always be laughing while we're learning, but at a profound level, if you feel good about what you're doing, it'll be far easier and more effective. And if you feel bad about what you're doing, it definitely doesn't work, ever.